So here we are, game one in this best of three between LGD and EHOME.Keen. And let's get into the draft as we take a look at both sides. LGD, they've banned out Abaddon and Ricky. EHOME.Keen, they've banned out the Magnus, Nyx, and Naga Siren. With the first two picks from both sides, LGD, they've gone Monkey King and what looks to be a mid Venomancer up against EHOME.Keen's Earth Spirit and Lina combo. So Lina, very popular in the recent history, being a mid. You know, works well against a bunch of strong mids, especially very favorable Invoker. Lina does have the advantage there. The only thing I don't really like about Lina is she does struggle from behind. A couple of good ganks go not in her favor, and then Lina's going to fall behind and seem to be pretty ineffective. But on the catch side of that, obviously, you know, Lina, if ganks do go her way, like the Earth Spirit's there, if the Earth Spirit and the Lina work together to get a couple of kills early, the Lina can become very effective, and it's one of those mids that, you know, struggles. There are mids that have an easier time coming back, Invoker being one of them. But Lina struggles from coming back from being down, and then Lina does a really good job of taking advantage of the advantage, if that makes sense. So Ember's Spirit, Terrorblade banned out for LGD, Naga and Invoker for this second phase. So Earth Spirit, Lina, you've got Earth Spirit in that 5, Lina in the mid. And for LGD, probably going to be a 4-position Monkey King with a possible mid Venomancer.
10 seconds remaining. 5.
Hold on. Let me just move something out of the way so it's not bothering everybody. There it is. Not in everybody's way anymore.
Legion Commander.
So Legion Commander picked up for EHOME.Keen. I like this pick. Offlane Legion Commander, especially early on. You know, you get that level 6 and, you know, a little bit past that Blink Dagger for a Legion Commander. You've got Lina, who's going to be there with the LSA, the Dragon Slave, as well as the Laguna Blade. That's going to help the Legion Commander out to get those early duel kills. It's good lockdown, and I really like Legion Commander, you know, scales well as the game goes later. And Legion Commander Lina keeping the red color combination, so that never hurts either. And this is a very early team for EHOME.Keen. Legion Commander gets that level 6, roams around with Lina. You know, they can really move around as 5 early on, get a nice rolling boulder, nice stun from the Earth Spirit, line that up with an LSA and a duel, and all of a sudden you find yourself getting a couple of kills. So I like this from EHOME.Keen. We'll see how LGD kind of, you know, go about countering this, especially with Venomancer on the board already, and Monkey King. Obviously, Monkey King has that balanced strike that'll slow down a duel every now and then. You know, it does have a higher cooldown, and Venomancer, as for a mid, you know, there is a possibility that the ganks do come with an Earth Spirit and a Lina, and maybe, you know, you've got Legion Commander right now. Maybe you see Earth Spirit paired up with like a Crystal Maiden or a Tusk. You get that double support duo gank squad, and that is really where a team like EHOME.Keen with Lina and Legion Commander can really thrive. LGD Gaming, they've picked up Sand King, so Sand King, Venomancer, Monkey King. It's Boundless Strike, it's Burrow Strike, it's a combination of the two is pretty solid. The ultis from both Venomancer and Sand King are going to be pretty effective, and this still doesn't, you know, specify where Venomancer is going to go. You could put Venomancer as that 5-position Monkey King for Sand King offlane, and, you know, the lineup is not set for LGD just yet. So that's always something to think about when EHOME.Keen is going to be looking further down the line in their draft. And this is their 4th pick coming out. So they've got their offlaner, they've got their mid, and they've got their position 5. So they need a 4-position roamer. Could be, you know, Crystal Maiden, Tusk. I like those 2 picks. You know, maybe we see a Ricky come out for EHOME.Keen. And there's the Crystal Maiden. So Crystal Maiden, Earth Spirit, a very solid duo in terms of supports. And then EHOME.Keen, they still need their safe laner. And then LGD Gaming, they've got Sand King, Venomancer, Monkey King. So you've got 2 alright stuns. Maybe you want to line that up with another.
10 seconds remaining.
And let's see if they pick
5
a safe laner
seconds
or an
remaining.
off laner. Give us a hint at where everybody is going to be going for their side. And that's going to be a Lifestealer. So Lifestealer, not a bad pick.
Radiant
Lifestealer, Sand King. Obviously, Sand King is going to be picking up that Blink. Blink, Burrow Strike, Infest. Venomancer, I think, you know, depending on who's playing it, does pick up that Blink Dagger. And Monkey King, of course, you know, Primal Spring into an Infest pop could be pretty solid with a Boundless Strike slowing down the opposition. I do like that combination. LGD, they're still looking for something more. So let's, you know, I think Sand King's going to be the 4. Venomancer mid, Lifestealer safe lane. They still need an off laner. So they could go with someone like a Clockwork.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, Magnus obviously is out of it.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think they're going to pick a Void up. Darkseer's maybe a possibility.
Reserve time. LGD's turn to pick.
So LGD, they're on their last pick. Not a lot of reserve time for either team going into these last picks. I think they probably have a pretty solid idea on what they're going to go with. At least for EHOME.Keen. I don't know about LGD. They've got this weird draft kind of going on right now with Lifestealer, Sand King, Venomancer, Monkey King.
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see how LGD kind of roll it. I do think they need another courier
Reserve
for Lifestealer. I don't think Sand King and Monkey King is going to be enough.
10 seconds remaining.
So let's see what they do last.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
Alright, so Phoenix. Phoenix, Lifestealer, Sand King, Venomancer, Monkey King. It's interesting. Interesting to say the least from LGD. You know, they've got a stand-in. They don't have Old 11. They're there with Yao, Victoria, maybe, and Ame. So we'll have to see how LGD kind of play this. I know the stand-in is their off-laner. Or at least he was yesterday. It was under the name Fly Faye. I don't know if that's right. He was Earthshaker off-lane. And then he was Magnus in the second game. So Weaver picked up for EHOME.Keen. I like this too. Minus armor. Always nice. Crystal Maiden's going to be there. Early on, you can find yourself some kills. Especially, there's opportunity, at least in my eyes, EHOME.Keen, they have the opportunity for kills in every single lane. Because of the Crystal Maiden Earth Spirit. You get in there with a Rolling Boulder, a nice, Frostbite comes through, Weaver gets early Swarm. You can find yourself some early kills safe lane, and I really like that for EHOME.Keen. For LGD, this lineup kind of seems like they're unsure in a couple of aspects. Lifestealer, he could go in Phoenix, Icarus Dive. He could go in Sand King, Burrow Strike. He can go in Monkey King. Late game,
Seconds remaining.
I see Lifestealer being kited
5
by
seconds
EHOME.Keen.
remaining.
I think early game too. They've got enough to lock him down and really make his life a nuisance. So we'll definitely have to see how LGD really want to roll with this lineup. And for EHOME.Keen, Lina mid, Legion off lane, Weaver safe lane, Crystal Maiden, Earth Spirit, your duo support. Gank squad, I would assume they go mid a couple times against the Venomancer. Alright. So let's see who's on what. We've got Ame on the Lifestealer, Yao playing the Phoenix over on the Monkey King. is not going to be in their stand-in, so that's yeah, it wasn't going to be anyway. It's their 4 position, which is going to be Victoria, and then they've got maybe on the Venomancer, so definitely interesting. We'll see how LGD really work with it. For the other side, Dark is going to be on that off lane Legion Commander. Mid is going to be Lina. Wrong is going to be out on that Crystal Maiden. JJJ is on the Weaver. And then they've got an Earth Spirit, which is always nice. So we'll wait for this game to start. To me, I like EHOME.Keen's draft. I think it works very well. I definitely think EHOME.Keen's lineup also works early and late. You know, I think with Earth Spirit and Crystal Maiden early on, it's going to open up some space for Weaver, maybe even get him a couple kills down in the safe lane. So that could push him ahead early. We'll have to see if they use that, you know, pretty well to their advantage. So just a nice deep ward placed here by Yao to start this matchup off. Again, down low by EHOME. They're going to place a pretty nice ward. Nothing too crazy in this bottom lane. I don't think either of these teams are really looking to be aggressive in the early goings, especially LGD. If they get off to a bad start, it could definitely serve to be a problem for them. So we'll have to see how both teams
30 seconds to battle.
want to work with these drafts. So I mean, LGD's draft, it definitely can work out. They're going to be throwing Yao support up top with Lifestealer on that's being played by Ame. So I kind of like it for LGD. But I definitely do think that EHOME.Keen have the better draft, especially later into this game. So in the early goings, we take a look. Mid is going to be that Lina. Down low is going to be this Earth Spirit with the Weaver JJJ. And then Wrong is going to be off on this Crystal Maiden. Probably farming a couple of creeps in the jungle every now and then. And then in the off lane is going to be Dark up against Ame and the Phoenix played by Yao. So over for LGD. Mid is going to be maybe on the Venomancer. We take a look at that off lane. It is going to be the stand-in, which is Fly Faye. I'm actually not too positive about that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then Victoria, who is a.k.a. M99. So these lanes, it seems pretty interesting for both sides. I think EHOME.Keen, they're going to be working with Earth Spirit and Crystal Maiden when they start to roam around as Gank Squad. It's going to start looking up for EHOME.Keen. Meanwhile, Rolling Boulder out as well as the Swarm. Already Sand King pretty low, but the Primal Spring will slow down JJJ. He's also pretty low. Gets down to about 80 health. He's going to have to eat through these trees. One more shot will kill him, but he gets that salve off in time. And he'll be able to heal up and stay in this lane bottom. So Sand King, he's going to salve up as well. Both are going to be pretty even down low with both that exchange happening. We take a look up top, actually, for Dark just pushing back Yao as much as he can. So Swarm, just some good harassment out onto the side of LGD. A couple more shots going out towards Victoria with the Swarm out on him. And he gets pretty low, though. Harass both the Sand King and the Monkey King, this duo King lane. Really not too far out of lane for the Sand King, but for the Monkey King, that is all the way back to base. So we take a look over at this Weaver. JJJ is already level 2, getting a little bit closer on level 3. And as we take a look, here it is already. Rolling Boulder comes through with Wrong, as well as the Light Strike Array. They're going to look to get that Frostbite. Should be First Blood for EHOME, and it will. So the Gank Squad proves to be effective already. And EHOME.Keen, they're up 1-0. So, EHOME.Keen, they take that 1-0 lead. Earth Spirit comes around the corner with this Crystal Maiden. They show up and already show how effective this Gank Squad's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for more. They already got really close to getting a couple kills down low with both this Weaver and Earth Spirit. You add a Crystal Maiden to the equation, and you will be in trouble if you're LGD in this bottom lane. So you take a look, Wrong just waiting in the wing. There's the Rolling Boulder again. That's actually going to hit on Sand King despite not having himself a Remnant. They do get the soul. They're looking for the Primal Spring from Victoria. He will get it, but they've already lost the Sand King, so now they're looking for more. He doesn't have a lot of mana, and not a lot of mana for this Crystal Maiden either. Just trying to get a lot of mana, enough mana to get that Frostbite out. Victoria's still running away. There's the Rolling Boulder. They do get the soul. Should be another for EHOME.Keen, and it's a double kill for Wrong, and EHOME.Keen already rolling 3-0. So it's an early and good start for the side of EHOME.Keen, just like I said it would. And, you know, with this combination of both the Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit, you really need to be careful. He's going to come in with that Rolling Boulder once again. He's actually going to get out. He's going to go into that Sandstorm. He's going to now get hit by that Boulder Smash. But with the Boundless Strike coming through, as well as the Burrow Strike from this Kingside duo, LGD, they're going to turn it around on EHOME.Keen, get themselves a kill. And now it looks as though Earth Spirit, he's going to have to try and run away, but the Burrow Strike does hit. And they'll get themselves two. So JJJ, he's just hitting around with Victoria. Maybe not the smartest idea there. Shikuchi with the Frostbite. A couple more shots. She'll do it. And it will just before Boundless Strike comes out. The Sand King, he's still looking to make something happen. JJJ's very low. A Burrow Strike would kill him. He's going to be spotted. There's the Shikuchi, but the Frostbite does hit with the Rolling Boulder. And they get themselves another for EHOME.Keen. Well, LGD, they take 2 right back, and EHOME.Keen say, not so fast. We'll take the 2 right here, right now. So EHOME.Keen, they're already up 5-2. We take a look at that early net worth, about 1,000 in their favor, and it's very much in favor of this Weaver. Weaver getting some very nice early farm, already about 1,200 gold for him. And that is going to open it up for eventually this Legion Commander, Dark. Dark's going to be looking for those phase boots, looking for that Blink Blade Mail. And, you know, the more space that this Legion Commander gets from the Weaver, Crystal Maiden, and Earth Spirit, the better it's going to be for EHOME.Keen. They need to watch out, however. There's the open wounds. They're going to try and TP out, and it will be successful. No stun from Ame, because he doesn't have any. So let's take a look over mid. Level 5, just about level 6 is this Venomancer, double Wraith Band build. And then for this Lena, gonna grab that ward, get 100 gold, has that 2 null talisman. And with Monkey King coming over, and they might be able to get themselves a kill. The Primal Spring's gonna miss that soul. They get the Balance Strike, the Venomous Gale follows up. There's the Sunray. Light Strike Array is not gonna hit on either of them, and now he's got the passive fully ticked out, but the Monkey King's gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Wrong's going to have to run away from the 3 on LGD. Maybe this rotation was a bad choice, and it will be both Yao and Wrong dying. So a 2-for-1 trade for LGD does favor them pretty well as they get themselves level 6 on maybe. And Monkey King is involved after dying a couple of times in bottom lane. So the Jingu Mastery ticks out, gets himself a kill. Things are looking up for LGD, down 6-4. So maybe sitting here mid 28-9, top 3 on the CS is all LGD. We see a nice Rolling Boulder come in, and he actually gets the Boulder Smash to the low ground. Maybe might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Light Strike Array as well as the ulti from maybe. One more shot should do it. The Venomancer goes down, and now trying to follow it up is going to be the Sand King. Sand King's going to get the Barrel Strike out onto this Lena, who uses her Laguna Blade. They're trying to get a kill onto this Sand King, but it doesn't look as though it's going to be enough. Maybe gets the kill on all 3 of them. So just like that, it was a 5-2 game. Now over to 7-7. Venomancer, 3 kills from the grave. So very interesting from LGD as they pull this net worth back to even. Burrow Strike comes out. There's the Primal Spring as well as the Epicenter on JJJ. Not going to finish off the kill. He'll eat his Tango, try and TP out, and will. So Epicenter down. And that's something to note for EHOME.Keen if they want to make any movements. So the King squared lineup in bottom didn't work out too well for LGD, but the rotations did, so that brought him right back, 7-7. And LGD, they're right back into this game despite being down 1,000 net worth early.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And was the Venomancer getting quite a bit of farm with those 3 kills post-partum.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Let's take a look over. Dark's got those phase boots. We take a look over the Crystal Maiden. Not really much except for the Tranquils. Helena, 2-0 Talismans looking for the Bloodstone. Weaver over here looking for a pretty greedy Midas. But that is because he had that pretty stellar start. So 0-4. Take a look over at LGD's side. Venomancer, second in the net worth. 2 Wraithbands, Power Treads. Lifestealer are doing alright. Ame is looking for that Midas as well. Excuse me. The more EHOME.Keen can shut that down, the better. Meanwhile, Rolling Boulder as well as the Magnetize going to get that Silence, trying to TP out, will not be successful. EHOME.Keen, they're going to get themselves a kill. So still not fixed. Just time-lapse used by JJJ as well as Magnetize according to that battle recap. So, take a look over. He's got himself that full minus finished out. That'll come in the courier. And then already level 6 is this Earth Spirit. Looking very good. He used that Boulder, Rolling Boulder, Boulder Smash, and the Silence, Geometric Grip with the Magnetize. Gets EHOME.Keen a kill. And up top, Dark's going to be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Primal Spring. Jangu Mystery is going to hit 3. It's going to pop to get that kill. And Victoria finds a return kill on Dark. It's 3 up top. Ame, Yao, and Victoria. So very nice for LGD. Get back 8-8. Gotta know those first to 10k bettors are always on their heels.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Especially after this started 5-2. So Rolling Boulder comes through, gonna get that Arcane Rune, Venomous Gale, as well as Boundless Strike. They're gonna use the ulti just on this Earth Spirit. They're gonna get the Stunlight Strike Array, he's gonna miss. Now Rong's coming over, he's gonna get himself that nice Frostbite. They get the Laguna Blade out, maybe he's gonna get very low, a couple more shots should do it, but he's getting very far away. The Jingu Master is gonna hit hard on this Lina, and now they get the Venomancer to clean it up. It's gonna be 9-9, can they get it? The duel does! So 10 comes out first for EHOME.Keen, and right behind that is the 10th kill from LGD. They get the Lina right after the Monkey King comes down, and just like that, it's 10 dual damage for Dark. That was as close as it gets. Wow. So 10-10, it's 500 net worth lead for LGD. And if EHOME.Keen, they really want to make something happen, they gotta go on this Lifestealer. He's having an easy time. Ame up top of that net worth, 4,900, almost 5,000, not 5,000 in that net worth, full 1,100 above. The Weaver in the bottom lane, and coming over is going to be the Sand King, going to get the Burrow Strike under the tower, as well as the Balance Strike in the Epicenter should be enough to kill off this Queen of the Light Striker. Right comes through, they've got the ulti coming in from the Monkey King, but here comes JJJ to try and clean up. He's already got one on the Phoenix, and now the Silence is going to come through on the Venomancer, but he's not silenced for too long, and this Weaver might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to use that Shikuchi to get very far and time-lapse back to his own high ground. So an interesting play. 2-for-1 trade. They get the Earth Spirit and the Lina. Now 12-11 in favor of LGD. And that was some big rotations coming out from LGD. That was 4 heroes for 2. So they need to make sure this works out for them. If they've got these heavy rotations, I mean, Weaver came over, So it does benefit LGD quite a bit, but JJJ, if he finds himself some farm with that Midas, could see him get that Lincolns early and be in a very nice spot.
I could do this all day.
So JJJ is going to try and chase down Yao. Yao does have that shrine available, so wisely JJJ backs off.
What have we here?
So he's finished off that Perseverance. His farm's okay, but still 1,100 gold behind this Lifestealer Ame, who's farming at such a great pace. We were just looking 5 seconds ago at this Lifestealer, 5,000 net worth. Now it's 6,000 net worth. The net worth, it's really boosting fast. But let's see if EHOME.Keen can make something of this. If Lifestealer shows himself, he could be in a little bit of trouble. But that Monkey King illusion, I think, spots out all three on EHOME.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So mid tower getting harassed up by Yao, maybe, as well as Victoria. And the rotations are here, Lina and Earth Spirit, but these two are not going to be enough to save this tower, and the tower not taking that much damage. But to make something happen, they're going to need more than just these two. Radiant are going to scan. They do spot that they've Monkey King, but they don't know it's him. They did place the ward. I'm pretty sure that did spot him eventually, but there is a deep ward here from LGD, so that spots out the Earth Spirit, and that'll make LGD weary enough to just back off.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Post-mortem, not postpartum. You win some, you lose some. So they're going to try and go in. They get the silence. That puts him into the duel. Here comes the Lina with the Light Strike Array as well as the Laguna Blade. I'm not too sure that's going to be enough time to kill him for the duel damage. But the lockdown is enough to get the kill on Ame. So up top, pretty good for EHOME.Keen. They tie it up at 12. They get a big kill on Ame. The Lifestealer top net worth. And that's some... Oh. Nice plays from EHOME.Keen. Meanwhile, down low, JJJ goes down. He buys out the recipe on the Lincoln Sphere, but does not have enough for the ulti orb. So, what'd they use on that? Oh, cool. Nothing. Thanks. Thanks, fight recap. Really awesome. Appreciate that. So Victoria is here, and Dark's gonna creep cut, try and get this tower down. They do use the Dragon Swipe to clean up that creep wave, and they're gonna continue to push under the nose of this Monkey King, who's gonna be looking for a good Primal Spring, as well as the open wounds from Ame to follow it up. They are gonna use it. There's the open wounds. The Balance Strike follows. Here comes the Wukong's command, and now they get the Light Strike Array as well as the Dragon Swipe, but there's the stun to follow it up. He was charging up that Epicenter, but the Frostbite stops that. So it's already a kill on Monkey King. Dark's going to heal up for just a moment. One more shot will do it. Can they get it? The Burrow Strike does hit. And it does go the way of the Sand King. So a 1-for-1. So the Swarm comes through again on this Phoenix, and he is in trouble with a Shikuchi to get space. After the Icarus dive tries to get him away, not going to be enough, and JJJ finds yet another kill. He's died once in this game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So still even in the net worth. There's the silence coming out on that Lifestealer. He's got to be careful. These plays coming in from the Earth Spirit are pretty nice. Didn't grab the stun, but got the silence, and that opens up the Lifestealer. They get a good silence, they get a Blink Dagger on this Legion Commander. All of a sudden, things will turn around, and EHOME.Keen, they'll pull ahead much, much more. So Ame, Victoria just farming away in this jungle. Ame just trying to pull ahead, and he's going for the Heaven's Halberd, so... see how that works out. The stun, the silence comes through on the Venomancer. He's going to be in a bit of trouble. There's the duel as well as the Magnetize. That should be a kill for them, but the Balance Strike's going to slow down Dark for just a moment. So now they've got the Burrow Strike to line it up. They've got the Jingu Mastery fully maxed out on Victoria. But Dark just continuing to hit away. He's going to be armor toggling very successfully. Almost gets the Sand King as well as the Monkey King. I really thought he was going to get one of them. I am myself a little bit too much. I got pre-excited. Something that my girlfriend likes to call disappointing. So Rolling Boulder comes through. Blinking out is going to be that Sand King. We've got Wrong and the Earth Spirit up top, just defending this top tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, over mid, EHOME's tower is going to be hit pretty low. They've lost their bottom tower in both sides of the map. Let's take a look. Lina, full Bloodstone. This is the really important part coming up for Lina. Lina's got to make sure this first movement with this Bloodstone isn't a death. That'll kill a lot of momentum. Plus 125 cast range, that's always nice. Let's take a look at the Weaver. He's got that full Lincolns. But over on LGD, they're starting to make a move. They've got the Infest out on the Sand King, who's got that Blink as well as the Burrow Strike ready to go. Victoria is here ready and waiting. So Smoke's going to break. They do spot the Crystal Maiden. They're going to continue to move on forward. They've got Yao here as well. They're going to continue to blink. There's the blink forward, the Primal Spring. Everybody's here. And it's going to be a party. LGD is going to find themselves a kill out onto the Crystal Maiden, but it's a 5-man smoke for support. So I'm not too sure how people really like that. But meanwhile, up top, Dark's going to push this creep wave. He's going to be looking at a tier 2 up in the top lane. TPs are going to come back, and maybe LGD are in for a bit of a surprise. Earth Spirit's going to come around the bend. There's no ward here anymore for LGD. And let's see what they can do. There's the Rolling Boulder, going to miss the Sand King. He's also going to get that Magnetized out, as well as the Son of the Silence. Are going to bring down maybe very quickly. Who's going to be turned around on by this Sand King, who's going to use his Epicenter as well as the Burrow Strike, but it's not going to be enough. The ulti is going to be there from Wrong. Wrong is going to get everybody very low, and by everybody, I mean he's going to take out maybe a Victoria. They're going to get another one, but that one's going to be killed by MVP neutral creeps as Sand King falls as well. So it's a 4-0 in favor of EHOME, a very solid defense for them. And with that, they're going to head towards Roche. EHOME looking to take the first Aegis of the game. And probably push on forward from there. So working on this Roche, and it doesn't look as though there's going to be any contest coming in from LGD. And let's take a look at the net worth chart now. 7,500 in favor of EHOME.Keen. So we take a look over mid. Maybe he's got the Dragonlance. He's looking for a BKB, but in terms of net worth, he's behind all 3 cores on the side of EHOME.Keen. Not really looking too great for a Venomancer at this moment in time. So as I was saying before, you want that first engagement to be positive on your Bloodstone. 4 charges right away for Lina. That's very significant. Take a look over at this Legion Commander. Still no Blink Dagger, but... Oh, no, wait, never mind. It's right there. Just came in on the courier. So, came in on the courier. Now they have the Blink Duel available. Look at JJJ, who is 1 Mithril Hammer away from getting himself a nice Desolator. So we actually take a look over. There's the Balance Strike as well as the Rage. The Primal Spring's not going to be in time. The Shikuchi out. And JJJ will be safe at first. So we take a look over. Lina still with that Aegis, and the Legion Commander looking for that Blade Mail next. LGD, they're content to farm. They want to kind of get back into this game, and that's where you see a Midas out for Yao. You want to get that recovery Midas, get yourself back into the game as a Phoenix, and then over for the Monkey King, it's just Phase Boots and an Orb of Venom. So nothing too significant, but 1,100 gold. We take a look down low. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Is this Sand King? And it will be a Rolling Boulder, Stun, Silence, Laguna Blade with the LSA. Open Wounds out on Wrong. He's going to be in a bit of trouble. The Balance Strike does stop the TP out. And there is a return kill for LGD. Pretty nice. But it goes the way of the Monkey King. Maybe Ame, he's not too far behind, but might want the kill in general. Just to push himself forward in the net worth lead. So meanwhile, up top, Tier 2 is gone for LGD. And JJJ is going to work on this Tier 3. He's going to force the rotations from LGD. There's the Balance Strike as well as the Primal Spring. Two are going to come through. The Swarm's going to hit on both of them. They've got the Aegis reclaimed in just about 2 minutes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So they're trying to make something happen, and it looks as though they're going to make it happen. Maybe. Getting way caught out as JJJ is there for the kill with the Blink Duel from Dark. That's more dual damage going his way, and no Venomancer for 40 seconds. So they're going to push this Tier 2. Going to be an easy take for EHOME.Keen. And they get another tower. Only one more outer tower remains for LGD. So now they work even further on this Tier 3 mid. And it is really becoming a problem for LGD as they're kind of wrangled inside their base. So LGD, they sit back, they wait for their opportunity, but EHOME.Keen, they're going to back off. EHOME.Keen, they don't want anything really too difficult for them. They want to take it easy, safe, and slow, and they're okay with doing that. Take a look over at the Lina. 18 Bloodstone charges with Boots of Travel and the Aegis. Nothing too crazy in terms of items, but honestly, with the Eul's next, that high ground push maybe becomes that much easier. And for this Legion Commander, going to get that full Blade Mail. So it's another boost in items for EHOME.Keen. While LGD, you take a look at this Sand King. He's had this Blink Dagger for a long time. Nothing really to change. The Heavens, however, is there with the Armlet for Lifestealer, so maybe they want to go before this Lifestealer. Ame does get this AC, but for Venomancer, maybe he's kind of being nullified at this point in the game. He's going to try and get a BKB, but how much is that really going to help him? Venomous Gale thrown out as well as the Sunray from Yao, but continuing to run with the Shikuchi is going to be JJJ. So there's the Icarus Dive as well as the Primal Spring. 3 are here. They're going to get a kill on Wrong. This is 3 very slow, and nobody here for EHOME.Keen to really retaliate. So with that kill, LGD, they'll go back to farming. They know that they just need to get back into it. They need to find their next couple items, and maybe a fight if they can find EHOME on their heels. So they're going to smoke, they're going to infest into this Sand King, and see if they can find a very big target, such as maybe the Weaver or the Lina. So scan not going to hit, despite my icons in the minimap being so big. And they look for Dark, they find him, there's the Burrow Strike as well as the Infest, and Dark getting pretty low. There's the Armlet Toggles getting a couple of nice shots out on the Sand King, but not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Magnetize is used, and they will get another kill on to the Earth Spirit. So the smoke works out.
This'll come in handy.
They get 2 kills. But meanwhile, Ame walks right into the hands of JJJ. They're not going to fight it out as it's just the Weaver and the Lifestealer. They'll turn around, settle their differences later. So let's take a look around the horn one more time. Lina has that full Ags now with the Bloodstone Boots Travel. Weaver, Desolator with the Dragonlance, and coming up next is going to be that Heart of Tarrasque, Earth Spirit, Tranquils, Blink, Midas, and then Legion Commander, Blink, Armlet, as well as that Blade Mail. For the other side, the opposition, LGD, Yao, Tranquils, bottom of the net worth, not a surprise. And then next up is going to be this Monkey King, who's got Midas, Phase Boots. We take a look over the Venomancer, Dragonlance, BKB finally finished, and Ame just about finished with that AC with the Heaven's Halberd and the Armlet, and then Blink Force Staff still here for the Sand King. So EHOME, they don't want to let LGD back into this game. It'd definitely be a mistake. Oh, big blink out from the Sand King, but now he's in a little bit of trouble. There's the Burrow Strike, going to try and TP out. Does he have enough to get the stun? The Frostbite will be there, so Sand King, I was going to say he's going to have a tough time trying to maneuver his way out, but he's just dead. Laguna Blade finishes him off. There we go. So Talisman of Evasion picked up for the Legion Commander, going to be finishing off that Solar Crest next. And Sand King already back up. So just trying to push out bottom a touch. It's going to be this Monkey King who, you know, maybe wants to get back, help his team defend. We'll have to see how EHOME really retaliate with this. They're trying to push mid. The defense is there from maybe. You know, what we really haven't seen is a pretty good Supernova come out from Yao. So let's see. Can LGD continue to climb this mountain that is a 10,000 net worth disadvantage? Roche is back up, and EHOME, rightfully so, they're going to go in for it quickly. So Aegis picked up by JJJ. Solid carrier for now, especially with the not minus 30-second respawn time for this Lina. Knows she's got the Bloodstone with quite a bit of charges. OX not to go for the minus 30-second respawn time, goes for the 50 damage and hits for just about 200. That is 197. So 4-man smoke from EHOME. They're going to look to make something happen. There's the blink with the Boulder Smash, and now they're going to get the Laguna Blade. A quick kill on Maybe, and he is dead for 70 seconds. That's more dual damage coming the way of Dark. So EHOME.Keen, they're going to look to push mid, and they've got only 4 to try and defend on the side of LGD. They've got the Infest, they're going to try and make something happen. There's the Light Strike Array, but it's not going to hit on anybody because nobody's there. There's the Burrow Strike as well as the Infest. He's going to get the 2-man Magnetize as well as the Supernova. They're going to have to try and bring this down quickly, and they will. The Monkey King, he's going to be very low, but he's going to have that ulti doing pretty good work on Rong, and it looks as though JJJ is going to get that kill. Burrow Strike comes through on the from the Sand King onto Rong. They'll get a kill there. Light Strike Array will miss with the Force Staff to the high ground. Rolling Boulder comes on through. Ame going to be slowed down for just a minute, but 3 just like that are dead. So 3 dead. Light Strike Array hits on 3. That's going to be a huge Laguna Blade coming out on the Sand King. That's going to get a kill. And meanwhile, the Time Lapse is going to keep alive this Weaver. He's going to get another kill on Victoria from this Lina, who's just going to deny herself. And now backing off is JJJ, who still has that Aegis. So yeah, they lose 4 on EHOME, but they still have the Aegis. They took out a bunch, take a tier 3. And it looks pretty good for EHOME.Keen. But not really as, you know, as good as I thought it would be. Nice refreshing water. For me. Harder Tarask is finished off for this Weaver. I'm going to be picked up, so he'll be even harder to kill. Trying to pick up that Ags on Earth Spirit. Maybe we'll see a repeat of Kiev NA qualifiers. Don't know if you remember that, but had that long 80-minute Naga Medusa game. It looked as though Medusa's team was going to win. Earth Spirit comes in with the Ags. Turns the Medusa to stone. Kicks him into the well. And that was it. So maybe a similar situation here. So Sunray comes out on JJJ, doesn't really mind. The Swarm thrown on Ame, going to continue to work on these racks. There's the Dragon Slave thrown forward, trying to make something happen. There's the nice Lincoln's pop as well as the Heaven's Halberd, so he's disarmed, going to have to back off. No, that boulder is not going to hit. There's the Burrow Strike as well as the Boundless Strike. JJJ is going to be purged up by that nice overwhelming odds from Legion Commander. Or press the attack, excuse me. Not overwhelming odds. And with that, he'll back up. He'll be purged up. I'll go for the Shrine. Easy peasy. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So let's see. Are they going to smoke up from this position? Yes, they are. So a full 5-man smoke for LGD. And let's see what they can do. They can come in from behind on EHOME.Keen, but remember, Aegis still available on JJJ. He's a hard target to kill already with that Heart of Tarrasque. They're going to spot him. There's the smoke popped. And Sandstorm's going to be used by that Sand King. Burrow Strike's going to miss, and now coming on through is JJJ. He's going to try and hit down on Yao. Yao's going to get that Icarus dive. He's going to have that nice egg, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. A couple more shots will get themselves the kill. Meanwhile, in the back end, they're going to get an ulti from Rong. Rong's not going to find anything just yet. Meanwhile, maybe he's going to die. That's 3 dead already. Now Ame's going to try and work something out with the Burrow Strike coming in from the Sand King. They're going to continue to work. The soul comes in from Rong. The Lincoln Sphere is out on this nice Lina, who gets a triple kill. Looking for more. Might find a 4th for this ultra kill, as Ame getting very low. But it will be a kill steal from Rong. But you work as a team. You fight as a team. And you kill as a team. So it don't matter. Triple kill there for the Lina. Rong steals one away. And LGD, they're going to be forced to buy back as EHOME.Keen, they're going to push in this base. So Ame, Yao, they're going to try and defend. The Aegis has expired, but what is this going to stop? The answer, in a way, is just about nothing. They lose their melee racks, they lose their range racks mid, they're in a whole bunch of trouble, and just like that, LGD are going to call GG. They know they've had enough, and game 1's going to go to EHOME.Keen. So game 1 goes to EHOME.Keen, a very solid performance from them. And let's take a look at this scoreboard, very much ahead. Let's take a look at the graph, almost 30,000 in net worth. I mean, the Dark had an amazing, not an amazing game, but a nice game. Only 2 kills, but had the lockdown when they needed it. Meanwhile, Lina, 11 and 5, very nice. And Rong, 9 kills. So very nice from both sides. And that is game 1 going the way of EHOME.Keen. They're going to try and finish this out and eliminate LGD. We'll have that coming up next. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. If you have any advice, any criticism on my casting, feel free to tweet me, message me, or, you know, just let me know. And if it's nothing good to say, it sucks. But I'll listen. Maybe.